In today's episode, we take a look at setup ideas on the Nasdaq, Euro New Zealand dollar, BRENT, USDCAD and PoundCAD. We also have some action from our Discord trading room. Enjoy. Welcome guys. Before I jump into the setups, I just quickly want to thank all those supporting members and all those contributing members of our community. There's been some really great setups, and it's been making life as a trader a lot easier. The whole idea for me starting this project was to create an environment where traders can collaborate and work together, and I'm really happy with our members and what we have achieved, and hopefully we can just keep growing and we can take this community to the next level. This week I'm actually just going to be sharing some of the best trade ideas by members of our community, and we're going to look at them for next week. So let's jump into those setups. So the first setup I'm going to look at is that of Nasdaq, and this is a setup that was shared by two members in our community, Razor, and also shared by High Risk Mike. It's a trade idea that I really like. Alright, bringing up the Nasdaq chart on my trading view, I've got 3 different time frames here, and we had this big drop, and since then we've had quite a remarkable recovery considering what's happening in the world. But this bounce is busy forming a bit of an ending diagonal or a bit of a wedge, which could be a technically bearish sign. And we're approaching a level of liquidity here at about 9,000 and also the 78% fib. So an ideal scenario for me would be one more push higher, and then hopefully we'll find some sort of a reversal pattern or signal or sign to get short the market. And then I'm not sure how far it's going to drop, but I'd imagine at least the first sort of level of resistance that I have would be this level here, but perhaps we can even go lower. But if you're not going to be greedy, I'd be quite happy to catch this move down to this level. So definitely one for the watch list next week. Right, the next setup I want to share is a Euro New Zealand dollar that was submitted by JMAT. JMAT's one of the first students that completed our advanced training program, and he's looking at a flip zone setup, which is one of the concepts we teach in there. And just bringing this up on my trading view, what we're going to look for is once the market gets back to this flip zone area, the market had this consolidation level, resistance, it broke down, consolidated and broke back through it, and this is what we call the flip zone area. And here we mark this as a potential action zone, and if we find any sort of a reversal pattern in this area, then hopefully we can get long this market. And if I just zoom out a little bit, hopefully we'll find a bit of a reversal pattern here next week, and then we can trade this market higher to at least form a bit of a running flat correction, possibly higher, but this running flat will be my target. That'll also create a bit of a head and shoulders pattern here, and if you measure that, then hopefully that'll take us up to this level here. So a nice big potential trade that's set up here, and thanks for JMAT for sharing this one. Alright, so next up I want to look at Brent crude oil. Now we did discuss oil last week, and we were looking for longs, but we haven't had a setup quite yet. But this one submitted by Gravedigger looks quite good. But we are going to have to make sure that you have your entry rules. And one of the entry patterns that I look for, and hopefully we'll find that next week, is ideally a bit of a consolidation here. And then what you look for is a breakout, and then you have to wait for a break back above this level, and then I look for the retest to get long this market. Now it's important to wait for this, because if this consolidation just breaks lower, we might go and create new lows on this pair. But if we do have a bit of a reversal pattern, then I'll definitely take this long. Or if I can just measure this target, that's potentially 70-75% bounce on oil, so quite a big move that we are expecting. Next up is a USDCAD submitted by trader Keith. Now this was submitted quite a few days ago, and he was also looking at a potential flip zone setup, and we had this market busy consolidating at the time underneath this low, and just moving a bit forward in time, looking where the market is now, we did have the clear impulse break back above this level. So ideally, if we do find a move back into this level next week, again, this is when we switch to the lower time frames and we look for entry patterns, at least for another leg up on USDCAD. Alright, and lastly I want to look at PoundCAD setup submitted by Karabu. Now Karabu is looking at a bit of a head and shoulders reversal pattern here. But I just want to expand a little bit on this trade idea. So just jumping to the 1 hour time frame, this was actually also a setup posted in our trading room by one of our traders. Very well done. I really like the setup. After the market printed these highs, it actually ran these highs, had the consolidation, and now it's busy breaking down, forming that bit of a head and shoulders pattern. Now, I just want to expand a bit to the 4 hour time frame. And what I'm looking at to do with this market is hopefully we can get a short to this market and complete this bigger correction. The market had this drop down. Again, it was a bit of a flip zone setup over here. The market dropped these lows, consolidated, and broke out and had the two waves up. And hopefully once we get to these levels down here, we can also again look for longs to take this market higher and perhaps take these highs. So yeah, two potential trade ideas on pound CAD. We're looking for a short and then maybe a reversal here to take it long.